Hey guys, I am Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. So I decided to show off my last national purchase that I have not shown off yet. It is a 1952 Topps Hall of Famer. So I decided I'm going to show all of my 1952 Topps Hall of Famers together with one other 1952 Topps who is not in the Hall of Fame, but he's borderline, and I put him in my Hall of Fame, and then we'll show the new one I picked up at the National at the very end. So let me turn this camera around and let's do it. All right, this is a card I have not shown before. Oh, let me adjust this camera some. That should be pretty good. Here's a card I have not shown before. The 1952 Topps Phil Rizzuto. Now, I've had this one for a long time. I just do not think I have shown it in any videos. So, some people say this guy is borderline. He's in the Hall of Fame, but should not have been. But who am I to say? He was a big part of the Yankees dynasty. He was the MVP of the American League in 1950, and he was really just an amazing defensive player, so at the shortstop position. So his peers thought highly of him for sure, and this is just a beautiful, beautiful example. I just absolutely love 1952 Topps, so I decided let's show off the Hall of Famers. So there's one, and that is card number 11. Now, going in order, we will move on to card number 29. Now, this is not a Hall of Famer, but oh, this is one of the most beautiful cards. Wow. Wow, wow. And I got such a great deal on this at auction some time ago. I mean, just the colors. This is a Vintage Greatness 3, and oh, is this card glorious. That is just the definition of vintage art right there. Let's take a look at the bag. Such a beautiful card. So happy to have this one in my collection. I just absolutely love 1952 Topps. Would love to add some more, but you know, hey, slowly but surely. I do have some non-Hall of Famers, Yankee contributors as well, but today I'm just going for the Hall of Famers in addition to the big clue. Next, number 33. Warren Spahn. In a fabulous 5. Oh, the red. Look how sharp. The ink. This one's got heavy ink. You can see it's just spilling over from the border there, the black border. And so it is just as vivid can be. Black back on this one. Warren Spahn. I've heard a lot of talk recently about how this dude does not get the love that he should get. I wonder if I can fit all three of these on here. Maybe if I move them back some. There we go. Wow. Who doesn't love 1952 Topps? It looks like the yellow stars around the nameplate, like these players are on Broadway. Just so nostalgic. We move on now to number 37, the Duke. I think I got a great deal on this one as well some time ago. You know, to me, that's nice, but the deals matter somewhat less, for sure. What matters the most is I like the card, and I'm stoked to have the card. But of course, you know, we all like to feel like we got a good price. Didn't pay too much. Or, heck, we like it if we got a great price, and I think I got a great price on this one. This one has a little pinkish tint to it. I kind of like them that way. But with or without that pinkish tint, I still think this is an absolutely beautiful card. And in my humble opinion, what do I know? But this is just an incredibly underrated card. One of the big three center fielders from New York, from the golden era of baseball. The other two, Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle, you know, you'll have to pay through the wazoo to get one of those. I know PayPal, I don't know wazoo. I've never paid through the wazoo. All right. Wow. Where do we go next? We go to the 1952 Topps, of course, number 191, Yogi Berra. And I tell you what, this is a really, really nice copy in a fabulous 4. Really nice. This card is notoriously off-center. This one is just exceptional. The cardstock for this particular series had all sorts of chipping and flaking on the edges. This one is just so sweet for the grade and has, really nice color for this card as well. And according to PWCC, they put a sticker on it. They liked it. And I agree. I think it's really, really nice. Really nice. If you've tried to find these, this one is just oh so sweet. Let's put Yogi right there. But hey, when you come to a fork in the road and you're deciding between one Yogi or another Yogi, I'd say take it. So we've got another Yogi here. This isn't a good 2, but I tell you what, this is just outrageous. I mean, the vividness of the color here, there's just tiny little bits of paper loss, but the sharpness, the centering for this issue, the vividness of the color. Seriously, if you're interested, I challenge you, pause this video, go look, wherever you like to look, eBay, you name it. Look at every single 1952 Topps Yogi Berra. See if there's one that presents better than this. This is just a knock your socks off Yogi Berra. Now, it does have just a little bit of paper loss on the back, most notably up here in the upper left. But you know what I say about that? Yeah, who cares? I mean, it doesn't bother me a bit. Sure, if it didn't have the paper loss, that'd be cool. But then again, this would be, would go for multiples of what I paid. This card is just, it's got to be the most gorgeous 1952 Topps Yogi Berra in a good 2 on the planet. It might just be. I would not be surprised, but who knows? So we got a couple Yogis. I used to have 3 Yogis, but I sold one to Mike, baseball collector. It was a PSA 4. He likes the PSA cards. So that was cool. I decided, I didn't even want to get rid of that one. It had some pretty nice centering. I was like, I'm going to hog them all, but I decided, okay, 2 is sufficient. I usually do not collect multiples, but I'm keeping both of these. All right, next. My national purchase last year that I've shown off a lot, but I make no apologies. It was an authentic from PSA, and I sent it to SGC not that long ago and was shocked to find out that they think it's a 2.5. And wow, such a beautiful card. I love the purple. I'm a sucker for purple, on cards. Well, and also reds, also yellows, and, greens. Black. Anyway, that ought to about cover it. Beautiful, beautiful card. Now, the PSA slab just said authentic. It didn't say altered, so, hey. Wow, this card is so gorgeous. Now, as you can tell, it's off-center in a couple directions, but I tell you what, I'm going to make a little prediction here about the future of the hobby. In the future, people are going to want their cards centered just like this. They're going to want a large margin on the left, and on the top, that's going to be. And then let's see if you can put that together with a card that's got, a larger margin over here. Well, we'll use this one. It's not perfect, but see, it'll look really nicely like a book. If you have one on the left that has a large margin on the left, and then you have one on the right that has a larger margin on the right, kind of looks like you're opening a book. So that's what people are going to be going for in the future. This will be considered perfect centering. And then I'll resubmit and it'll get the 10 that it deserves. Okay, well, maybe I'm living in fantasy land, but you know what? I absolutely love that card just the way it is. Would I trade it for one that has perfect centering but corner wear? No, I would not, because well, this one has a history. It's also connected to Mike Baseball Collector because he was there negotiating for me when I first met him at the 2022 National, and he knows that dealer really well. And Sammy Thunder and I are clubbies on this one. He picked up a beautiful Willie Mays 1952 Topps at the 2023 National. He was so excited about that, and I'm so excited for him. But this card, has meaning to me. So, no, I would not. Now, of course, if I were looking for one right now and I had, that type of money, well, obviously I would be, looking to see if I could get one that's centered. It would be a consideration for sure, but I just love this card just the way it is. No apologies for its centering. I think it's absolutely glorious. Super stoked to have it. All right, continuing on. Speaking of glorious, the 52 Topps number 277 early win in a near mint 7. This is a card that, a couple years ago, however long it's been, it was just maybe longer, a little bit longer, going around the eBay merry-go-round. Yeah, maybe closer to 3 years. I'd have to look. And at a good price, and I eventually snapped this bad boy up. So incredibly glorious. This card is just it's in a 7 heaven, just heavenly. Okay, now I can show you what I was talking about. See, this one on the left, Willie is centered to the left, and on the right, Wynn is centered to the right, so it sort of makes it look like it's, like they're the two sides, the left page and the right page of a book. So in the future, people will display their cards this way, and they'll prefer them centered, one to the right and down, the other to the left and down would be the preference. So that's what's coming, so get ready. Maybe it's not coming. Probably not coming. But I love these cards nonetheless. I can enjoy well-centered cards, but I can also really, really enjoy, like this early win. It's not, perfectly centered by any means, but to me, that is a gem of a card. I mean, my goodness, a 52 Topps, one of the higher numbers, so sweet, such incredibly nice condition that, I think that is to be highly valued and prized as well. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, maybe. So last year at the National, I bought a 1952 Topps Johnny Mize. Maybe I'll link if I can find the video, or you can go back and look. I'm not sure if it's easy to find. I guess I should do a little work. And it had 3 corners that were pretty sharp and one that was pretty rounded, which is kind of interesting. Quite rounded, actually. It was in a SGC3, as I recall. And ultimately I said, I think I can do better. I think I can do better than this. So I'm going to go ahead and sell that card. So I sold it. And eventually, maybe I'll pick up another one. We'll see how it goes. Well, lo and behold, at this year's National, I picked up another one. So I bought a copy of this card at last year's National in a 3, and then I ended up selling it. I'm sure I lost a little bit, but I'm not worried about that with, fees and so forth. And then I bought a copy at this year's National for less than I spent last year in the same grade. And, it is a knock your socks off copy. This is a tremendous 3. This might be the nicest one on the planet in terms of eye appeal. Youch. I mean, sharp, sweet. Now, his face might look a little fuzzy, but here's the deal. That's true for every copy of this card. This is about as great as the registration gets. Apparently, the original photograph was, out of focus. Still, this card is absolutely glorious. The big cat, Johnny Mize, a big slugger. This dude, I think, does not get his due. I mean, wow, he is way up there in terms of sluggers and accomplishments. Look at that. He's got a bunch of bats, the Yankee facade in the background, kind of that violet purple, the centering, the sharpness, the surface quality. Okay, the back's off center a little bit, but notice how glorious, how absolutely glorious this card is. I mean, this is just insane. Now, here's the deal. So I was walking around, I believe I was with Double D, because, I did a lot of walking with Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. And this just caught my eye as we were, walking up and down the aisles, caught my eye. And I asked to look at it, and I don't think it was fully exposed. They'll often have slabs on top of slabs. But I checked it out, and I was like, oh, wow. I was like, whoa. It was love at first sight. Read about this dude. He's pretty amazing. Or go back and see my Johnny Mize video if you want. And so I offered him 70 and he took it. I mean, any day you can add a new 1952 Topps, if you're into that set, is a wonderful day indeed. And so I am so stoked to have this card. I don't, ever expect to have every card I want out of this set. I mean, the Eddie Matthews, some of the high-numbered cards, Hall of Famers, Roy Campanella, Pee Wee Reese, they get way up there. Hoyt Wilhelm, and then, of course, Mickey Mantle. But that's okay. I'll still pick them up from time to time. There's some Hall of Famers I don't have, like Bob Feller. Oh, the glorious 1952 Topps Bob Feller. What about Minnie Minoso? And there are some others as well. Larry Doby. Would love to have a nice Larry Doby out of this set. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing in my joy. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Take care, my friends.